You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
Good evening. How is everyone? I just brought up my name up here. Welcome, Rob Ashton. I'm awake for a live. Been too long, so happy to be here. Hi, everybody. Rob, hi to you. Let's get my name up here. Kadeem, how do you get your name up here? There we go. Show display names. I am Kadeem Simmons. Charlie will be here later, if there is a later. I might as well explain what this is. This is a 32-man live mock draft on the Draft Professor Epic mock. Round one is tonight. It is 8 minutes per pick. So yes, I need to double check where it says who we are taking or where we are doing this, but yeah, hope everyone is well. Hope everyone watching after the fact is good. I should probably announce in the group that I am live early. I have too many tabs open. Also, let me know. Let me know if you like my new glasses. I am messaging someone from the GTD media team. So excuse me for that. It's been a busy day over at GTD. And yes, I am live. I know I am live. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do as well. Apology, there's no intro. Charlie does the intro. I don't tend to do the Charlie bit. So yeah, fun times. Batman. I'm not doing anything Batman related, am I? No, my camera's a bit dirty, but I know it's just a me thing. Thank you for the cat, or thank you for saying it's a nice cat. I want more. I want to try and get more. It's going to be an interesting time. Fun times though, fun times. So just reading the mock. If anyone is drafting in the mock and is in the chat, come and say hi. GTD is live. Rob, how is life? And I guess as you're here, you are part of the Dolphins war room. So bearing in mind, we don't know who has, well, no one's been taken yet. The mock starts in like 25 minutes. So what would you recommend the pick is at pick 13? Any positions, any, I guess, players? Bearing in mind that anyone could be watching this, I wouldn't want to give away my mic over here. Rob, tell me my mic isn't like Rob. Like, I need you. That I don't have Charlie right now. I'm assuming you could hear me, but let me bring the mic closer. That'd be really helpful. Let me know if I sound any better than I did before as well. By the way, that'd be great as well. But yeah. Obviously, Charlie and I have done plenty of mocks over the last few weeks. I think going by what we've done is likely to be what we're going to do today over the next few days, as I say. Yeah, let's echo. Sorry about that. Yeah, I can imagine we won't veer too far away from what we've been doing in the mocks. And what I'll probably say, if I'm being totally honest, I think we have a better, if not the best, understanding of some of the later picks. And I think we're going to get some absolute steals later on in the draft. But we shall see how it all goes on. Yeah, if I was echoey, Rob should have said, Listen. That's one of the things where Charlie would have been like, "Yo, you're Mike," all that kind of stuff. So, um, you say looking towards corner or safety. Uh Corner or safety is interesting. Corner definitely could be the shout. Um, but again, so much depends on the offensive lineman on the board, I guess. Um, I think I said in our last episode, I can see the pick at 13 in real life being Gray Zabel. I can imagine the Dolphins are just going to go for a safe pick. Gray Zabel, one of the better guards in the class, has 5 position versatility. I see them going, yeah, we'll get Gray Zabel. We'll still pick up offensive linemen down the line, but we'll start strong. We'll get one offensive lineman, which gives us something to build on. And you can work out who plays where once you get people in the building, training camp, all that kind of stuff. So, if you are here, by the way, and you are listening, share it with any other Dolphin fans who would like to be a part of this journey, not just today but going forward. If you know any Dolphin fans who would love to be part of the war room, again, come be. We don't shy away from anyone or anything. That's the wrong thing. So yeah, the mock starts in about 20 minutes. Yeah, the Hill trade, again, given what we've been up to in the last few days, seems better and better. The Dallas one would be the best case scenario, but again, it's not going to happen. Again, if teams were looking at trading for Tyreek Hill, if teams were looking at trading for Tyreek Hill, he kind of just tanked his. It's not tanked his stock. This is one of those things where you knew what you was getting to a degree out of college. There's a reason why he fell so far in the draft. By the time he gets to Miami, you kind of know that he's not the perfect player in terms of off the field behavior. So it's a difficult one for me to sit here and say I didn't see this coming, because you should have seen it coming, and there hasn't been much. Or it feels like every offseason there's been a Tyreek Hill issue, and for people saying, well, there was, I guess, productivity on the field, all that kind of stuff. To me, no matter how much you do on the field, it shouldn't detract from what you do off the field. But that's a whole other conversation about Tyreek Hill. I need to try and work out how to get the picks and all that kind of stuff on here. It's not done via a website. It is done. Oh, don't do this. I don't know what the password is. Not an issue. We will figure it out after. Why have not done that? No, to be fair, it does make sense. Talking to myself at this point. Yeah, picks will be done via the spreadsheet. So I'm just reading through the chat now to make sure I know what I'm doing. But picks are announced on our stream. Picks are also announced in our group chat and also on Twitter. So it's going to be a very busy day for the Kadeem is tired group. Kadeem is tired. Yeah, a very busy day for the GTD media team, but that's just how life goes, I guess. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to announce our strategy, because obviously, someone could be looking, someone could try and snipe us for a player. But yeah, I have a rough idea where I want to go with this pick, and obviously, I haven't really discussed it with Charlie yet, but I can imagine Charlie will know as well. I'm just reading. So obviously there is a chat with all the different teams. Picks will be made in this chat. The admin will fill in the sheet and post the pick on the show thread on here. And yeah, it's okay, cool. I am okay with that. I just need to make sure I know who is getting picked and when. And I have the pick 13, Miami Dolphins. So I need to double check that all draft selections, Miami Dolphins. Okay, cool. Either way, I know who and where Dolphins is there. Cool, that is all good. And then for a draft fanatic, I'm making sure I know exactly what I'm doing. Don't want to mess anything up. This thing is so much more difficult when you don't have someone to bounce off. I think a lot of people they underestimate just how difficult it is to draft solo to talk solo. I don't know how people like Dog do it, to be honest. I was telling myself, you idiot. And as you can see, I am not lacking sleep, but I am tired. Baby Micah's doing well. But yeah, I am tired. It is been a very busy 7 days. But no, hope everyone is good. Like I said, if you are here, like the video, leave a comment. And I think the Titans they're going quarterback. What was I saying? You like the video, leave a comment and share it. Me and Charlie need to do a better job of promoting ourselves, but we also need your help to promote the podcast. If you have any Dolphin friends, even Dolphin group chats, like, hey, go check these guys out. Tell them to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, all the good stuff. The bigger we get, everything goes back into the show. Heyo, like hats. This is my AEW. No, this is a New Japan Kenny Omega t-shirt. I'm a wrestling fan, as those know. Should invite one of the NFL draft guys on there, but we can do that another day. Also need to get, but bear me 2 seconds. I need to get a bottle of water. While I am away, I am going to play the video of the best video we do have, to be fair. The video of the Miami Dolphins picking Devon Achan. Dolphins are 1 o'clock.
Okay.
23 NFL Draft. The Miami Dolphins select Devon Achan.
Did the Dolphins go 2 for 2?
Yo!
And I am back. So Cam Ward was meant number 1, and I believe, so Cam Ward was the first pick. I imagine it'd be the first pick in the Royal Life draft as well. My drink was here the entire time. I didn't need to move. Yeah, it's all good. And actually, while I'm here as well, there's so much I need to do today. So much I need to do, which I should have done days ago. So I'm trying to work with so many people at the same time as well, including myself. 20 quid. Oh, that was ages ago. Okay, cool. So there's so much stuff I have going on in my life, as you guys all know. But it's all good. It is all good. So with Cam Ward off the board, the Dolphins, that doesn't change what the Dolphins were going to do, to be fair. And pick number 2, the Cleveland Browns have taken Shador Sanders, quarterback from Colorado. So 2 quarterbacks off the board. If you are Eastern time, we will be drafting, I guess, in about an hour, I guess. Again, we shall see how it goes. So, yeah, like I said, Dolphins are picking pick 13. We haven't moved up. I don't think we're going to trade back either. So, overlays, videos. So, for now, we're picking pick 13, and I don't imagine that's going to change either. Just by the way, I guess partly my fault. I've just been so busy with life, I guess, that I haven't really had time to, I guess, enter trade negotiations. But it also looks like people aren't really willing to trade up. So I guess we shall see what really happens. Let me make sure this is the correct video. Yep, that is the correct video. We have a new outro video for our patrons. So stick around to the end of the show to see that. I don't know if it's going to appear. Wonder if I could play it actually. Let me test if I can play it from another thing. Oh no, all good. All good, all good, all good. So I can move that. This is what happens when I'm by myself. I just talk to myself for ages. Patron credits. So yeah, 2 players have been picked: Cam Ward, Shador Sanders. The next pick should be in the next 4 minutes. I will keep you updated of that. Apologies, I don't have I don't have the spreadsheet. For next episode, I will have that up ready. The Giants are on the clock. 2 quarterbacks. If I were the Giants, what would I do? I'd go Abdul Carter. Could go Abdul Carter. Could go Will Campbell. You don't really have a quarterback, but Will Campbell could be a great shout. No, I've got Abdul Carter, best player in the draft. I do need about 6 screens running simultaneously. It's just insane what I have going on in the background. So let's have a look. It's always the first time people do this. It's always interesting because people don't really know where to announce picks. I want you to get this on Twitter as well. Let me see if I can get this on Twitter today. Twitter, save changes. Nope, still not. Still being a stupid face. Cool, but still have on YouTube. That's what matters. Giants still haven't picked. Although the longer this goes, the more chance you might see Charlie jump on. Although I haven't spoken to Charlie. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But there's quite a few options for the Dolphins at this pick. Again, like I said, without really giving it away, but it's the same people we speak about quite often. Could go wide receiver, could go safety, could go linebacker, could go corner, could go offensive line, could go defensive line. In our last mock on Monday, this was after Tavon Armstead had retired. And we spoke about, does that impact what the Dolphins do at pick 13? And yes or no, it impacts it if a certain player falls to pick 13. But outside of that, same way the Calais Campbell departure didn't really change much. The Tavon to run onto retirement doesn't change much either. Let's tune into what the draft professor people are saying right now. This is talking about the Giants in a moment. Oh, it's talking about the time actually. So yeah, all good, all good, all good. The picture will be in now. To be fair, it is 6:23. It looks like we might have a trade. Someone might be trading up into the third overall pick. Who would trade up with the Giants? What would they give up? And if is someone trying to get Abdul Carter, perhaps? You don't trade. Do you trade for Travis Hunter? I don't think you do. I think the only person you might trade up for will be Abdul Carter. You might trade up for Will Johnson because I don't think Will Johnson gets part of the Patriots at 4. So if you're in desperate need of a tackle, then yeah, you could trade up. But outside of that, let's have a look what people are doing. The Jags are moving up. The Jags are sending pick 5, pick 88, and a second next year for the Giants' overall pick. And they're selecting Travis Hunter. I don't like that. But the Jags have quite a lot of. Yeah, we'll get Charlie's opinion on that. But yeah, Travis Hunter for me moving up. Nah. I also think Travis Hunter would have been there at pick 5, legitimately, because the Giants could have gone Abdul Carter. The Patriots would have gone left tackle. So Travis Hunter could have been there. I don't like that. But again, I'm just a Dolphins fan. What do I know? So that's 3 picks off the board. And I took my time as well. I thought they were starting at half past. They're clearly starting at quarter past. So that means the Dolphins should be picking around quarter past midnight UK time at 7:15 Eastern. It's happening from Charlie, but Charlie is busy. Yes, understandable. So the Patriots on the board. If I'm the Patriots, I'm going offensive line. I would go offensive line. And protect Drake May. Question from Rob Ashton. Thank you for this. What are your preferred sources for researching players for draft? I watch yourselves and a couple others, but there were a lot of how I want to do my own research and look for film and stuff. I tend to. There's loads of things you can kind of go on. I guess like try and find a website which has all the draft eligible players by position group. So look at top 10 safety, top 20 safeties, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I kind of start looking at that kind of stuff to find a few names. I look at mock drafts again to find names. And then from there, it's YouTube. Go on YouTube, type in person's name. I quite like looking at other players who play for that team as well. So if I'm looking at a quarterback, I might look at the offensive line highlights. So, say I can't think of, I don't know any of the Miami Hurricanes offensive linemen. Say I was scouting the Dolphins, for instance, and I want to look at Tua, I might go and look at, Devon Achan highlights or Tyreek Hill highlights, or people who, because it's essentially what I'm trying to see is not just the highlights but their lowlights. I want to see what they do when they aren't making great plays. Highlights aren't going to show that. So, if I'm looking at a corner, if I'm looking at Will Johnson, for example, I might look at the people who he's played against. So I'll try and find highlights of Michigan against someone else. And I will try and find Will Johnson on the field. So I'm like, okay, cool. Even if the ball isn't thrown Will Johnson's way, what were you doing? Did he get beat? What the person locked down and stuff like that? So that's what I tend to do, try and get a better overall picture of the person. If I just type in Will Johnson highlights, I'm only going to see the good stuff. I'm not going to see what he's like under pressure, all that kind of stuff. Same way if I want to go look at a edge rusher. Okay, I'm going to go look at a quarterback that he played against because, if I'm looking at edge rusher from Miami Hurricanes, for instance, I'll go look at a Hurricanes highlights against another team and watch that. So I'm like, okay, cool. There's your edge rusher. He didn't get home every single time. But what was his pressure like? All that kind of stuff. So that's what I would do. Charlie probably does something different. And when Charlie is here, I will get his answer on that. We also might do a separate Patron video on that as a great question. The Green Bay Packers are live as well. I think Abdul Carter is the next pick. But yeah, I really need to see. I need to get this live on Twitter. But essentially, what we used to do before Twitter started having subscriptions and stuff like that, we would go live on YouTube and Twitter. But what happened now is that we can only go live on Twitter if we have a certain package on subscription package on there, which is insane. It's really hampered our views again, hence why we're like, hey, can you share the video, all that kind of stuff. But we'll be back on there soon. If there's a rule, there's a way. Oh, okay, we won't be going the entire time. What time and days are the other rounds? So let me get that up for Charlie. Cincy Planner. Isn't it because I'm a Londoner? Don't know why I'm singing. I've been singing that song for ages. It's annoying. Round one. Okay, so this isn't going to be a very long stream or as long as a stream as I thought. Once I do my pick, I will be end the stream. It means I can get up early and go see Micah, or as Charlie has called him, Micah Miami, which I quite like. So the Patriots have picked Abdul Carter. Cam Ward, Sanders, Travis Hunt, and Abdul Carter have been a pick so far. Let me send that to Charlie. Picks so far. I was thinking to go. So I'm just doing draft strategy with Charlie. Because, yeah, don't want to make a pick if Charlie doesn't like it. That would really set us back. So, yeah. Annoying. Very annoying. But, okay. So, 4 picks. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Couldn't even learn to count. It's 9 picks away. We are 9 picks away, which again should be about an hour. Discussing with Charlie. Rob, you're in the chat. Let us know as well what you think we should do. There is nothing else going at the moment. Giants, Raiders, Jets are the next 3 picks. This happened in real life. It'll be quite annoying for the Dolphins because you kind of want one of the quarterbacks to fall. Actually, you kind of want a quarterback to fall around to where the Colts are picking, because the coach could go quarterback. the coach going quarterback could have someone move up to pick 13. It's unlikely. Because the Falcons wouldn't go quarterback, the Cardinals won't go quarterback, Seahawks need to pick Charlie Wilson. Bengals no, Seahawks potentially, Bucks no, Broncos no, Pittsburgh potentially. So there could be a trade partner there, but that we'll see come draft night. In real life, we'll see who falls. So got a list of names from the big GM, big dog. I don't know why I call Charlie that. Yeah, pick. You have an idea from Charlie what we could do. But yeah, so that is the plan. Given that we are 10 picks away, listen, there's a chance that the list of names, all those people go by the time the Dolphins are on the board. I think it's highly unlikely, but you just never know what people are going to do. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Let's check in and see what the other team is saying. Yeah, could go for a suit jacket. I'll be honest, I came back from Vicarage Road, went to see Man City under 18s against Watford under 18s in the FA Youth Cup semi-final. Crap game. Most interesting thing is Andrei Shevchenko's son plays for Watford. Not that good either. So there's that. But we are still. Charlie Touche says live and ready. Wish I could have been here for this. Charlie, yeah, same. But I know you'll be here for rounds or day 2 and 3. So actually, Kadeem, I'm doing dumb stuff. Kadeem is doing dumb stuff. What I can do is do this. So first and foremost, let me charge my laptop. That would be great. Also, if you're in the chat, let me know what you think about the Tyreek Hill situation. We haven't spoke about that. Yeah, you kind of need to get rid of him, but it's gonna be difficult to do that. Especially before June 1st. So you're kind of stuck with him. Let me do this. Share screen. So this is who is doing the live draft. This is them online now. When this loads, so apologies for this. But yeah, keeps on in the background. That'd be a lot better than what I was doing beforehand. If this decides to load, it might not load. Let's close that down. I need to get like a.
That's Colorado, followed by back-to-back Penn State.
True.
I can't think of a draft where 3 schools dominated the top 5.
Right. The only way it gets even crazier is we get Elijah Arroyo here at 6 to the Raiders. We completely go off the rails at that point. But speaking of which, the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock now. Had obviously the offseason.
So Tyler Warren is off the board, as you all saw. And actually, I can do that. I can keep that up there. Tyler Warren is off the board. Let's make that full screen. Tyler Warren off the board. Hopefully, I kind of thought he might fall further. What is interesting is there's no offensive lineman off the board yet. I think the Raiders are going to go Ashton Genty. And again, in a real life situation, if you're the Dolphin, you're sitting pretty nicely. Simply because there's guys who you would want on the board and they're still there. The interesting thing is, again, in real life, do you kind of move up a few picks to kind of go and get your guy? We're not going to do that right now. We're going to sit still and let the draft fall to us. But yeah, it's interesting to see Tyler Warren go 5th to the Giants. Again, I don't like that pick. Facing Abdul Carter twice a year could change what the Dolphins do at pick 13. But again, you have to go offensive line throughout this draft regardless. So there's been nothing. Aston Genty to the Raiders. Yeah, that was always going to happen. Probably one of the most nailed on, or one of the most likely picks in real life as well. Hate that for the Raiders because they have a crap offensive line, and the Raiders should look to see what the Giants did with Saquon Barkley. Getting Ashton Genty isn't going to solve all their issues. But to be fair, you've got Ashton Genty, you pair him up with Brock Bowers. Nice little 1-2 punch. But yeah, Ashton Genty. You also see the times at which players are picking as well. So yeah, we will see how it all falls. Let's also remove that. So you got my lovely face all big and proper and my bald head as well. Interesting story. Went to shave my head today and my clippers died. So my clippers are here charging. But yeah, to be fair, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to look. What's that on my head? Oh, I've lost my jumper. Miami Dolphins jumper I wore to the football or the soccer. Also soccer weird. So Anton, that's interesting as well. So I think the Saints, where are the Saints picking? The Saints are picking pick 9. Saints could go Shamar Stewart. If he falls. If I was the Jets, what? Oh, what Jets? Do you go and get a weapon for Justin Fields? Do you get an offensive lineman for Justin Fields? I'd probably go if I was the paper plane. Sorry, I'd probably go offensive line. But it's interesting. It's again, I'll say it's quite a lot. A lot of things are interesting. Just seeing what these teams could do. Hopefully, didn't have my stomach rumble. Still no pick. We have 7 minutes until the paper planes need to make their pick. So yeah, let's check back in with the draft professor guys to see what they're talking about.
7 is just absolutely best case scenario for the Jets. I don't think you can go wrong either way, personally.
Absolutely. So I'll also throw this because you've been on the Colston Loveland tight end 1 train. The Jets need a tight end. Is this Colston Loveland? Would this be too high for you?
I would not dislike that pick at all. I've mentioned that before. It has not been received particularly well from Jets fans that I've mentioned that too. But if I'm the Jets GM, now in this case, I probably take Grant.
Just reuse that. Mute full. Anyway, don't know why you're doing stuff like that for. It's going to be like last year's draft where that was coming to us and everyone we wanted was snatched away. I don't think so. No. Again, there's shout out Cap for life. Cap, good welcome to the chat. Thanks for the comment. Leave a like on the video. Share it with all your friends. I know you got loads of friends over there in the Dolphins community. It'll be greatly appreciated. I think of the list of names that Mr. Touche sent to me, I think one has gone. And again, there's a chance that with 6 picks, all of these people may be gone. But I think even then, like Charlie asked in the last episode, there's so many people you can pick at pick 13. If the top 2 offensive linemen you want are gone, you can go safety. You can go, like, again, put it this way. In this draft right now, 6 players have gone, 2 of them being quarterback. No offensive line players have gone, so I can go offensive line. No defensive tackles are gone. I can go defensive tackle. Only one edge rusher's gone. I can go Shamar Stewart. I can go edge rusher. None of the safeties are gone. I can go safety. If I want to go Jihad Campbell, I can go Jihad Campbell at linebacker. I have options. I genuinely have options. So, and the Dolphins will have options in real life. Like I said, I have a feeling the pick is going to be Gray Zabel in real life. I cannot see Gray Zabel, even in this mock draft, going before pick 13. There are so many offensive linemen who, like myself and Charlie said, I think a lot of people would want to move back and pick up an offensive lineman, like a Gray Zabel, because there's better value at 23 than 13. I disagree with that because if he's going to start at 23, he's going to start at 13. I'm going to take him at 13. There's nothing worse than moving back from 13 to 23 to pick someone who you think is going to be there at pick 23, and then you go to pick 22. Now what? So the extra second and third is going to be lovely, but I've just lost the player that I wanted. So no. The paper planes have 3 minutes to pick. No one has picked yet. Excuse me, yawning. That is a man who is tired. But it is what it is. There is a trade. So I think the paper planes have traded. Yeah, the paper planes have traded out of this pick. Fair play to them. Let's see if we can hear what that trade is going to be.
Fall off. There were injury issues. The character concerns have been floated out there. But now with this, he was already trending towards day 3, and with the legal issues on top of this, I kind of be surprised to see him go before day 3. And I think the question is, how far into day 3 does he fall now?
No, I agree with you. I had him as a round 4 prospect before these issues were out. And we talked about him the other night here on the Mrs. Are Relevant podcast when we talked about sleeper wide receivers for Buffalo and speedsters. I had.
So the trade I am looking at, oddly enough, is stop doing that. Is I think Chicago have moved up, but also the Vikings send pick 24 and 97. The Raiders send 37, 68, and 108. I don't know what Chicago have traded, but Chicago have gone from pick 10 to pick 7, I believe. Once I know what that pick is, I will let you know, obviously. But yeah, it's interesting to see. Yeah, go away, dude. What the pick is going to be. And why would it? Again, fair play to the Giants Giants. The other team in New York. Apologies, guys. Yeah, fair play to the paper planes for moving back 4 spots. Just to see what they pick up. But we have options. We definitely have options. To Chicago. Chicago could move up for. They revamped their offensive line. They could. Let me go see Chicago's starting quarterback is. Guys, it's been a long week. My mind is Chicago Bears. Who is their starting quarterback at the moment? Starting quarterback is team culture logo, players of note, coach and staff rivalries. Caleb Williams. They got DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, probably the best wide receiver. It could be wide receiver. The offensive lineman, Drew Dalman, Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney, Darnell Wright. I feel like they've either moved up for Will Thompson. Will Thompson, the offensive lineman? No, Will Campbell. Yeah, they've either moved up for Will Campbell or they're taking a wide receiver. That's what I think. So the trade is Chicago sends pick 7 and pick 42, and the Jets send pick 10, pick 39, pick 233, and a second. So the Bears moved up to take Mason Graham, defensive tackle. Would I move up 4 spots to go defensive tackle? No, I would not. Let's see what the draft people think of that. I don't like any of these trades, to be honest.
Move. I would have stayed put because I would have assumed that the Panthers and the Saints would have went edge, and then you get him at 10 anyway. But we just saw the Giants thought they would trade down and end up with Abdul Carter, and look how that ended for them. They walk away with Tyler Warren. Drew, how do you feel about Mason Graham here going to Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a top 5 player on my board, so I like the value. I fully agree with your point where I think I'm not sure the 2 teams ahead of you were threats to take Mason Graham off the board. And I think if you knew the Jets were looking to trade out already, it's clear they didn't want to make that pick. So I think you could have gotten him at 10. But if you think he's your guy, if you think he's going to have that massive franchise-changing impact on the interior defensive line that we think he can, I love that pick. I think it kind of takes some of the pressure off that edge room that's maybe not the strongest. And I think he just bolsters that defensive line so much for a team that's really worked on the offensive side of the ball recently. They fixed their offensive line. They've got Caleb Williams, some weapons. You've got Ben Johnson in there to be the offensive genius. You've really kind of solidified the offensive side of the ball. It's now time to work on the defense, and I think this is a great first move to make to build up that defense.
100%, and I agree with you. And the good news is they did sign Grady Jarrett in the offseason to a short-term deal, so you can bring Mason Graham along slowly. But looks like the comments, Go Time Dolphins.
Let's talk about the trade. So I see some people saying bad trade, some people saying good trade. Here's my take, right? So if we look at the 7 players that have been picked, so arguably they are 6 of the 7 best players in the draft. Just based upon listening to how consensus has them graded, whether it's Bill, Drew, whoever, I think the only player that isn't in that group is Shedeur Sanders, right? Mm-hmm. Right, but 6 of the top 7 players that have been drafted would be arguably the highest graded players, the blue chippers of the draft class. So if you're Ryan Poles, you got to go up and you got to get your guy. You have to be aggressive. You have to get your guy. And I don't think Mason Graham is dropping to 10. Like you guys were coming up with scenarios. The Jets probably would have taken Mason Graham, but the Jets probably prefer to have more draft picks because they have a new GM. More picks is important as opposed to blue chips. So you got to trade down, address a lot of needs. So like I can see how somebody's saying it's a bad trade, but the Bears coming up and getting Mason Graham, he's one of the blue chips in the draft class. I don't know that it's ever a bad trade to go up and get one of the blue chips. But what do you guys think as far as the quality of the trade?
I think the quality of the trade, the fact is that,
shout out to Eric Smith. If you are not following Eric Smith on either social media or on YouTube, you are missing out. Great content. A lot of offensive line content. Eric, we need to get you on a pod as soon as possible. Yeah, it's been in the works in my head. It's just also been a busy time in my life at the moment. But no, Eric, we'd love to get you on a podcast soon. Let's talk probably tomorrow, as it's nearly midnight for me. And yeah, once I make the pick, I'm probably going to go to sleep. Mason Graham, I don't think it's bad to say this, wasn't on the list of names that myself and Charlie were talking about. So again, it's as Rob asked earlier, it's just going to be like last year's draft that was coming to us, and then everyone who wanted was snatched away. Again, so far, I'm liking how this is looking for Miami. Panthers are on the board. If I was the Panthers, I'll probably go. Bryce Young showed you that he can play in this league. I need to give him weapons or better protection. So to me, from the Panthers, this is an offensive pick. That's what I would do. If I was the Saints, I'd go edge rusher, and if I was the Paper Planes, probably go offensive pick as well. Just to annoy Aaron Rodgers. We know about the Bears. The Panthers have 3 minutes to make their pick. This is where it's interesting. Like in real life, this is where I'm like, okay, you just want like a bunch of names to not start going. And again, if you're the Dolphins, you probably think of the same as well. There's a really interesting, it's not even interesting, there's that clip of the 2021 draft where it's the Lions war room, and they are obviously picking after the Dolphins, and Waddle goes to Miami, and like they're all fist pumping. And yeah, because they picked Penei Sewell. I don't see the need to take all 6 minutes. One, I'm not going to trade. For two, I would know who I'm going to pick. So, I have the mocks that we've done, who we've taken at pick 13, or if we've traded back. My computer doesn't want to show me who we took. I'm telling you now, guys, when you need something to start working, like when you're live on YouTube and the things do not want to work, like when you're live on YouTube, yep, that person could be there on the board. I'm looking at our mocks. That person is off the board. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna be interesting. So, pick 8, Jihad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama, goes to the Panthers at pick 8, which is interesting. I think he's someone who me and Charlie spoke about before. That torn labrum scared us. I was having a conversation with PFF's Tom Valentine last night, and he was saying he reckons Jihad Campbell, the next level, is going to play edge rusher. He'll be an off-ball linebacker, but his traits, his athleticism, his bend will have him playing edge sooner rather than later in the league. He's not too worried about the torn labrum. In this mock, neither are the Panthers, who have just taken Jihad Campbell as Hannah Montana. You okay?
Yeah.
You could have. What drink do you want?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please rest up.
Okay.
If you're not, you're downstairs. That is married life. The Saints are on the board at pick 9, which means the Dolphins are picking in 4 picks. Panthers have picked. So yeah, let's see what the Saints and then so if the paper planes are picking at 7-13, that would mean the 49ers are picking at 7-20. The 49ers are the Cowboys are picking at 7-27, and we are picking at 7-34. So we have 36 minutes roughly. Eric Smith says Jihad Campbell is a very good player, but agree that shoulder injury for a linebacker is worrisome. Eric, it's one of those things where if you're the Dolphins, you've taken and have enough players on your roster with medical issues that would scare a lot of teams. The last thing you want in a can't miss draft, if you're not just the GM, but if you're, the head coach, you can't pick someone who's had a major injury in college. Now, there's an argument to say you can't draft scared. You can't draft someone, let's talk about someone like Raekwon McMillan. Completely fine in college. First snap as an NFL pro in preseason, injured, out for the season. The Dolphins could pick the most safe player, and you never know what's going to happen. So there's an argument to be made that, if you love Jihad Campbell, you go and take him. But I think the Dolphins will and probably should take the safer option because there are quality blue chip players with perfect medical history to take, which won't have the internet screaming for your name. For instance, Mason Graham, Tyler Warren, guys who've been picked so far in this draft. That is okay. I'm just making sure I hadn't missed anything. So the Saints are on the board. The Saints in real life, I think, could go quarterback here if Sanders isn't taken. In this mock, he got taken 2nd overall. So that's not an option. If I was the Saints, what would I do if I was the Saints? I don't know. Let me have a look at the New Orleans Saints, not the Pelicans. Look at the Saints roster. Current roster. Could go someone to pair up with Chris Olave. If you love Colston Loveland, you could go tight end. I wouldn't do that. Could go offensive line. It's too early. Could go safety. Again, they have a lot of options. A lot of options. Someone said, wow. I don't know if that's to the Jihad Campbell pick. I'm getting my times wrong because it's 8 minutes. Learn to count, Kadeem. So if the 49ers are picking at 7:21, I mean the Cowboys are picking at 7:29, and we are picking at that could be an option. Saints going corner. Yep, the Saints have gone Will Johnson corner. So that is someone who the Dolphins have been mocked to quite a lot. That is someone who myself and Charlie have picked up quite a few times as well. Shout out to Rob SAFC. So Will Johnson is another one. I think he's got his pro day on Monday, coming off a hamstring injury, I believe. But yeah, he is someone who, again, has an injury history. But what I find funny is a lot of Dolphin fans just don't care because he's that good of a player. And again, it goes back to the whole injury history doesn't, in my opinion, Miami fans don't care about injury history. They like the player. If they don't, they will use it against Chris Greer, which is natural. But yeah, Will Johnson is off the board. Will Johnson was one of the players who myself and Charlie looked at. But with 3 players left, 3 picks, I should say, sorry. Then yeah, we want one of the guys we want will be a Miami Dolphin, which is absolutely perfect. Let me tell Charlie. Went to the Saints at 9. So Will Johnson is off the board. The Paper Planes have picked Armand Membu, offensive tackle. So telling Charlie. So that is Armand Membu. I think he's someone we have taken in a mock as well. So we are picking at 7:35 to 22 minutes. Although the times have somewhat changed. So 7:12, 7:20, and then 7:28. So yep, let's see. Cool. 49ers. They could go wide receiver. 49ers could go wide receiver simply because actually, let's have a look at this. This is an interesting thing to bring up. So
and here is an absolute home run, and I think value-wise, that's pretty easily the best pick of this draft so far to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You get a guy that could have went as high as 4 overall here at 10. And not only that, but you trade down and you get him. I think right now the Jets are probably the front runner for GM of the night, the way they've maneuvered this board. And I'm sure I'm sure Jim's, cursing me in AFC East language right now for saying that, but it's really good. You get a right tackle to play off of Olu Fashanu at the left tackle to project Justin Fields. But not only that, you get an additional second-round selection next year. You trade up 3 more picks in round 2, so you move up a little bit more in case you need to get back into round 1 for a quarterback because you're not sold on Justin Fields entirely. So the Jets kind of making some moves.
Yep. And Clint Ghost, another draft professor, is agreeing with you there, Bill. So definitely Fashanu and Membu, I like it. I like what the Jets are doing. So, Anthony, I know that you are listening to me. I think you're on the Bears podcast, if I understood that right. Anthony, definitely impressed with what you're doing too.
Yeah, absolutely. So 49ers on the clock here at number 11 overall.
Okay. And Will wanted to add in good luck protecting Go.
Yeah, Chuck Robinson, you can eat both of those guys alive, but that's a whole other issue. I'm just saying. So yeah, I think what I might do as well is mess around with this background at some point over the next few days as well. A solo background. Yeah, we know Armand Membu is a paper plane. It would make the job somewhat harder to against Justin Fields. You just need to contain, have some good linebackers, someone to spy Justin Field, Chuck Robinson, Jalen Phillips, and Brandy Chubb go hunting home, and Zach Sealer clean up. But yeah, the 49ers are on the board, which means Dallas and then the Dolphins. I can see Dallas going wide. I can see either one of these 2 teams going wide receiver, to be honest. The 49ers obviously let go of stop being tired. Wide receiver, 49ers. No, I've got to Google this. This is, guys, don't slip on sleep. Fans trade wide receiver. Deebo Samuel. Jesus, Kadeem, you should have known that. But again, I'm tired. So yeah, Deebo Samuel's gone. Do they go and replace him straight away? Could do. No pick yet, but they still have 5 minutes. And yeah, I kind of, because I know what I'm gonna do, I don't need to take that much time. That I find it so annoying. People take ages to make a pick. I need to find a way to make this smaller. No, smaller. Smaller. That's smaller. There we go. Mason Graham has gone. Will Johnson has gone. Yeah. Actually, that's probably a better thing to do. The better thing to do is bring up a big board. And I might bring up the big board on this screen. As I'm talking to myself quite a bit. 49ers still haven't picked yet. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a wide receiver. Just because, yeah, they lost Deebo Samuel. Quickly get replacement. Matthew Golden to Troy McMillan. McMillan is off the Go Time Dolphins draft board. Charlie didn't like the comment about him not watching tape, which again might turn some teams off. So we'll see how that goes. 3 minutes until the 49ers make their pick. So yeah, we'll see what they do and what the Cowboys do. But yeah, one of the names that we have on our radar is definitely an option. So we will see how that goes. Let me see if I can do this here. NFL draft big board. Who big board do you want to have a look at? Chat. PFF, ESPN. We'll go with ESPN. Once it loads, we'll see what is available for. That's a big screen. I do not want that. So let's have a look. Present our invite. Let us share this tab instead. Don't break. Don't. That's fine. Still not broken. So ESPN big board, private settings. We all have those. Right. Abdul Carter has gone. Travis Hunter has gone. Mason Graham has gone. Tyler Warren has gone. Atten Genti has gone. Jalen Walker has not gone. Cam Ward, Arben Membu. So yeah, there's definitely options. Yeah, 100% definitely. Jihad Campbell's gone. Shamar Stewart still on the board for Miami. Nick Manwari is still on the board. Derek Harmon will be an interesting one, whether you do want to go defensive tackle. I think Matthew Golden could be one of these two picks. But yeah, there are options. There are definitely options, and that is the main thing. As I bring back up this, I don't know if that's going to play sound, so I'm not going to mess around with it at the moment. We have been live for an hour. If you haven't already, leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to Go Time Dolphins. If you are new here, share the The 49ers went Mike Green, offensive edge rusher. So that leaves the Dolphins picking in a matter within the next 18 minutes, 60 minutes. Learn to count. I'll play it on this screen. Let's see what they're saying about this pick.
He's also a little bit undersized. So what are you getting as far as the run center and the edge? But I definitely found why. How do you feel about
If you can hear that.
How do you feel about it? Yeah, I'm my green guy. I'm fairly
Hannah Montana, Hannah, go to sleep. It's late. So yeah, Mike Green off the board. Hannah Montana awake, should be sleeping. And yeah, so Dolphins are up once the Dallas Cowboys make their pick. And I still think this could be wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb, give him a partner. Yeah, we will see how that goes. Once the Cowboys make their pick, I will let you know. That is the Mike Green pick. We don't need a Mike Green pick. We need the next pick after that. Who is making still haven't got a pick yet from the Cowboys, but the Cowboys have 6 minutes to make their pick, so still got time. I don't know, I'm nervous. This is draft night. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, we shall see what happens. Okay, so so I'm working the phones right now. Still no pick from Dallas. There might be a trade. There might be a trade. Let's have a look. Is there a trade? I don't know that person's picking, so I'm not sure. The Cowboys are typing. Let's have a look what is happening. Let's see what the Cowboys are typing again. The Cowboys have not made their pick yet. Let's speed this up, people. Speed this up. I know if this is real life. It's not right now. If the person I want is on the board, I am running to the podium. I'm not taking 8 minutes. I don't need to take 8 minutes. It is people have things to do. It's midnight here for myself. Don't stay up too late. And the Cowboys have 2 minutes to make their pick. So let's see what they do. The Cowboys took a wide receiver to Torrey McMillan. I will announce the pick here. But it is Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. So get that in straight away. Let's see what they have to say about it on the show. Yeah. Will Campbell fall into 13? We had a whole conversation on Monday about it happening, and it's just like, so go grab him. You've got your left guard if you need it, and if Patrick Paul doesn't work out, you've got your left tackle. Will Campbell will not fall to the Dolphins at pick 13, but if he does, you run him up there and get him straight away. So yeah. So yeah, that's so true, Rob. I had an issue with someone who tweeted that, or when he said, you know, when Will Campbell said what he said, he was completely right. He was like probably the best tackle in the class, or one of the best defensive linemen in the class. No one cared, and all because he's got short arms. Don't do this. Don't do that. I'm just tweeting out the pick right now.
Drew, if you're Field Yates, does that make like the older person in the room like Bill
So this is a bad podcast. I apologize. Just doing this quickly. Who is on the clock?
Indianapolis is picking Izaraku, even though they're not on the clock. I didn't see that get typed in there. Yeah. Yeah. So that's funny. So Jay, if it's you that's typing that made me laugh. So thank you. Miami's on the clock. So do you think Tyreek Hill? Do you think we see him get moved in this spot? With all the concerns surrounding him, Miami were to move him, it is a sunk cost.
So yeah, yeah, he's gonna be fine. I want to see what they say about our pick.
Miami go from here, and based on what we're seeing and what we're hearing, it sounds like the pick is in. Oh yeah, the pick was in. Apparently, the spreadsheet didn't get updated. So yeah, it looks like next two picks are in. Okay, yeah, next two picks are in, and it looks like Will Campbell from LSU is going to be the Miami Dolphins pick, and then the Indianapolis Colts taking Donovan Ezra-Rocky from Boston College. So. Drew, love the Campbell pick. I'm not sold on him as a tackle, but it's a definite guard. Great selection there. And then Ezra-Rocky, just an athletic nightmare as an edge rusher. How do you feel about the Dolphins and the Colts next two picks here? Yeah, the Dolphins, I'm somebody who's been a little bit lower on Will Campbell, but I think the whole is a lot higher than I am. I agree with you with him being a guard. I think he has to kick inside. I'm not sure I'm trying to tackle first. I think you just immediately plug him into the inside there. But I think he's incredibly technically sound. He's NFL ready. Issues about some of the power in places, but I think he's incredibly technically sound. Hands are great. The punch is strong. He's got white strips for hands. So for a guy that on a team like the Dolphins that needs interior offensive lineup like they do, I think it's awesome to see a guy who's been talked about times he has fall to 13. Feels like we need to down as Rocky. I hate to see this. Awesome. I love this guy.
So if you heard that, what they said about the Will Campbell pick, which is you need to kick inside, like Will Campbell said, you guys had no issue with me playing tackle, playing in college, and now you know the length of my arms. Like no, like so, I disagree with Drew at Iron City Film. I know Charlie's going to disagree as well. But it's all good. It is all good. It's cool to disagree. Yeah. So Campbell is, in my opinion, a great pick. And yeah, that's the main thing. That is the main thing. So yeah, I will be on. So Eric Smith says, I feel like Will Campbell was a guard before his arms ever measured. I personally would not draft any guard in the top 15. With that said, Will Campbell is a very good player and I think has Pro Bowl potential early in his career. So I understand it, even though it might not be in my direction. And yeah, that again, that if you've also had him at a guard, that's completely fine. I think again, I don't know if you saw our Monday mock. In our Monday mock, we had Will Campbell and Will Johnson on the board, both of them at pick 13. And while we wanted to go Will Johnson, the Toronto Armstead retirement kind of pushed us toward Campbell simply because if Patrick Paul doesn't work out, you've at least got a left tackle. You know, again, if you always had him at guard, then that's fair. What I will say now that, you know, the pick is in, the order that Charlie had was Will Campbell, Armin Membu, Golden, Will Johnson, and then Tyler Warren. And I think, yeah, once Johnson went, I was hoping that Will Campbell fell. If it wasn't going to be Will Campbell, the last person on that was obviously Golden. And if it wasn't Golden, I probably would have gone Gray Zabel. Now, I know, Eric, that goes against not picking up a guard at pick in the top 15. But I think Gray Zabel, again, gives you the ability to play across the line. I think the Dolphins need a guard. And I think, again, he'll be a perennial Pro Bowler. Perennial Pro Bowler in the top 15. To me, I like that a lot. But I may not be a gold jacket player, and that's what you kind of want in the first round / top 15. But personally, I just safety too high for me at safety. Obviously, Jihad Campbell was the board, wouldn't have taken him either. I would have liked to have gone Armin Membu, but you know, he went at pick 9. At that point, it's just kind of like, where can we kill two birds with one stone? And that kind of was, you know, Will Campbell. If it does mean that, yeah, you have yourself a guard and you need to go and find a tackle in next year draft or whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, if you're unsure about Paul, this at least gives you a backup option. To be completely honest, in our mock drafts that we've done so far, it might be a situation where, also in the mock drafts we've done previously, and we've taken like 4 offensive linemen. What we've said and what the Dolphins will probably do is we're going to put the best 5 out there. So it might be a case where, yeah, Paul will be, yeah, I think Paul will be fine. And I think if you can get solid guard play at left guard, then I don't know, if you can get better than solid guard play at left guard, and you know Aaron Brewer at center doing what Aaron Brewer does, and you've got James. It's a long-winded way of me saying, if the other 4 guys play to their potential, Patrick Paul being serviceable shouldn't be that much of an issue, because you can, you know, people can pick up double teams and all that kind of stuff. So, or take on double teams, I should say. So, yeah, and yeah, I wouldn't. And you know, we'll discuss this when you come on the pod. I can understand not drafting for insurance when you have so many other needs. It's more a case of I didn't want McMillan was gone. I've still got Tyreek Hill in the building. I'm probably not going to go golden. I'm a big fan of Higgins later on in the draft if he's there. And yeah, like again, going by Charlie's list had Campbell number 1. I would have had Johnson number 1, Membu 2, Campbell 3. But yeah, we shall see. I might go for no what. I'm going to get into overtime now because I don't know how long I am going to last. So do not go nowhere. Stay with me. Come into overtime. If you're new here, overtime is where we play the outro and then we wrap up on the other side. If people leave during the outro, do not. We are not going nowhere. I am not going nowhere. So I shall see you in 34 seconds.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So I am back. Like I said, thank you for no one leaving. Still time to share this with your friends. If you're watching after the fact, please leave a comment. Like I said, like the video, share it. This might not go on. I know I'm probably going to put this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So if you are listening, then yeah, please leave a 5-star review. Again, share it with your friends. Download and subscribe to the podcast. That'd be greatly appreciated. Days 2 and 3, simply because of how long they're going to be, probably won't go on Apple Podcasts. And that's the way possible. No one wants to listen to a 4-hour podcast. Like, geez, split that up. But you have me here for as long as I want to talk. So the Falcons, after our pick, the Colts took edge rusher Donovan Ediraku from Boston College. The Falcons took Mikael Williams, edge rusher from Georgia. And the Cardinals just took Jade Barron, cornerback from Texas. I won't give away our draft plans just yet. But what I will say, so if you look at what we did in mock draft 3.0, actually no, it's 4.0, and I didn't say 4.0, which is really annoying. Mock draft 4.0, when we took Will Campbell we took Will Campbell. Don't be surprised if we doubled it the chip at offensive line, basically. I would love for the Dolphins to do that, so we'll see. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one. To see how it all plans out. Obviously, Charlie will be here with me tomorrow. We'll go over the first round. We'll go over options in the second round, third round, all that stuff. 12:30 for me. I guess if I had to go for 4 hours, I would, but I don't. I've been going for an hour and a half by myself. Not too bad. Before I dip out, let's see what these guys are talking about.
To me, I think if Rocky going this high, well, 100% in that range, I'm not more than expect that. Other people, so as Rocky going that high,
such an idiot.
Surprise for me. I think the Jets trading back still landing on Nebo at that point is crazy. You got Campbell probably still landing as the biggest surprise going to the top 10. But there's been so many other choose at this point, honestly. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Tyler Warren ending up in the top 5 is probably the biggest surprise.
The other one we always talked about it, coming into the draft from our Stewart being this athletic, uber talented athlete, going the top 10, 8 to Carolina. He started to slide, and other edges have gone ahead of him. Donovan Ezaraku, Michael Williams from Georgia, things like that. So those are the big question marks that you have to have. But right now, Jordan, as we sit here, 17th overall, and I do believe I just got a text from the man himself, the GM, straight to the line. The pick right here is going to be 17th overall Eagles safety Malachi Starks out of Georgia.
Malachi Starks is a Bengal.
Was Malachi Starks a true stud on the back end of the defense?
So Malachi Starks is a Bengal. Kadeem Simmons is going to bed. Guys, it's been great. Thank you so much for joining me. Eric, check your DMs. I say in the morning. The time difference, so it's 12:30 for me. I might message you now once I get to bed. Ooh, but we shall see. For everyone who has been with me live, I appreciate it. For everyone who is joining after the fact, let me know in the comments down below how you think I did. And please stay for our new outro video, which nope. Let's see how this goes. So I'm going to try this. Hopefully it worked perfectly. If not, you might see my face again for like a brief few seconds as I have a massive panic. But guys, until the next time, stay tuned. I say stay tuned. Tune in tomorrow, same time, 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe 5 p.m. Central. For day 2, it will be myself and Charlie doing this all over again. Until then, we shall see you soon. Peace.